Welcome into the Brooks Bench with your host, Brooke, aka Shiggy, and my co-host, Megan.
What's up?
If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button, follow us on all social media, and join our Discord, link in the description. But we have a lot to talk about, and I know you guys want to hear our predictions for the end of season awards. So let's get into everything. All right, first, injuries. We have a couple. Diamond Shields out. Arian McDonald ankle out. Clarendon still out with personal reasons. Odyssey Sims hand showed up on the injury report, but she did end up playing. Niara Savali is day to day. Meg, do you want to check to see if she actually played today? Because I know
She was
before
ruled out.
she was ruled out. Okay, so
Yeah.
she was ruled out. Clea Copper back was ruled out as well. Jewel Lloyd knee out. Ezzy McGregor concussion out. Shakira Austin is actually shut down for the rest of the season. Aaliyah Edwards ankle, I believe she was ruled out as well because I have a lot of these as day to day. And then Camila Cardoso, she did play today, but then she came out and she, I believe, after the half, they just ruled her out. So a lot of injuries, unfortunately, with playoffs around the corner. I know a lot of these are precautionary with playoffs around the corner. So hopefully everyone's healthy, so we have a healthy playoffs. Some transactions. Queen Egbo signed a second 7-day contract with Las Vegas. Kayla Davis signs a 7-day contract with Chicago. Amy Atwell signs a 7-day contract with Phoenix. And Sophie Cunningham actually signed a contract extension with Phoenix. I don't see Sophie Cunningham going anywhere else. What about you?
Nah, she fits in good there.
Yeah, she's probably going to be a Phoenix Mercury the rest of her life.
Mhm.
Okay, lots of news. There's just so much news and so much to talk about, but we're gonna try and get through it because, our end of season awards. First off, Tierra McCowan received her 7th technical foul this season and will be suspended for Thursday's game unless one is rescinded. Probably won't be rescinded.
Yeah. They'll review this one, but
Yeah,
usually the ones that happened in the past are already went through.
yeah.
So
But that's their last game anyways, so
yeah.
went out with a bang. The WNBA and Aces have filed motions to dismiss former Las Vegas player Dearica Hamby's federal lawsuit that alleges mistreatment over her pregnancy. We're not going to deep dive too much on this. I will highlight a couple of things that were in the article. So, one, the league argued Hamby doesn't have standing to sue the WNBA because it doesn't employ her. That's an interesting fact. I mean, not a fact, but it's an interesting statement, actually. The WNBA also disputed her claim that the league didn't properly investigate her allegations. They went on to cite that they suspended, what's her name, Hammond,
Yeah.
and then took away their picks as their reasons for properly investigating.
Yeah.
The WNBA also denied it failed to extend Hamby's marketing agreement with the league as a form of retaliation. The league pointed to the 9-month gap between her complaint and the contract expiring as evidence of lack of causation. Aces argued in the motion that Hamby failed to provide evidence of retaliation or discrimination. And Hammond said in May 2023 that Hamby was traded to put the club in position to sign Candace Parker. So I mean, I knew we were gonna see different sides of the story. It's going to be a long road. Uh, and
I
that's
mean, that makes sense though. I
yeah,
mean, when you look at it, beforehand when they let her go, everyone was like, "What?" Like, because
yeah,
Hamby, we knew how good Hamby was,
yeah,
but you bring in Candace Parker, we know how good Candace Parker is, so that it makes
yeah,
more sense when that happened and they ended up picking up Candace Parker. But yeah, it's sad that Hamby felt that way because you don't
mm-hmm,
want anyone in the league to ever feel like, oh, I can't get pregnant because I'm gonna be
mm-hmm,
retaliated against, or I won't be able to stay on a team or
mm-hmm,
whatever, right?
mm-hmm.
But it's just crazy that this whole thing is happening, honestly.
Yeah. And before we knew any of this was going on, when we traded Hamby, like you said, our reaction was like, well, who?
What?
Who?
Yeah.
And the thing is, we're like, okay, we must be going after someone big. And then when
Mhm.
we heard about Candace Parker, we're like, okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now this kind of makes sense. But now all these other allegations are coming to light. And now it's like, okay, what really went on? Like, no one's going to know the truth. We're never really going to know the truth because we don't know. None of us were there.
Yeah.
So how can we speculate either way? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to dive too much on that, but there is also more drama. More drama. We just gotta hit the drama at the top of the show, you know? So Kathy, the commissioner,
Yeah.
went on whatever news show. I don't even remember the news show. Um, but she was basically asked a question about Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and how social media is basically, kind of like the dark side of social media, how it's
Mhm.
bringing in more than just competitiveness. It's bringing in racism and
Yeah.
all these other different things, right? And Kathy compared it to what? Magic and Bird. Okay, Kathy. Okay. I mean, she missed the ball, guys.
Yeah.
Kathy. They tossed you. They tossed you the ball to hit it out the park, okay? And you struck out. I mean, it's unfortunate because obviously he even posed the question like, "Oh, social media has taken it too far." And she said,
Yeah.
"No, basically, this is a good rivalry. We need it." And I was
Yeah.
like,
That was her time to really make a statement. And it
yeah.
was on a big enough platform where obviously, right, because everyone saw her response and went crazy. But it was a platform for her to really be able to shut
Yeah.
down the fact that we don't need that in our league. We
Mm-hmm.
don't need it to become a race thing. Like, yes, competitiveness, we love to see little rivalries, but when you take it too far and you bring race into it, it's just unnecessary. And that was her time to shut it down. And it was just a mismark, really.
So basically, she came out and said, I was asked a question about WNBA rivalries and the dark side of social media and race, and simply put, my answer missed the mark, and I'm sorry. I should have stated directly and unequivocally that hate speech is harmful. She wrote, this is a teachable moment, and one I embrace with humility. There is absolutely no room for racism, misogyny, homophobia, and other forms of hate in the WNBA or anywhere. I know many of you have been dealing with it for a long time. I want us as a league to do our part to change the too often toxic and abusive nature of social media discourse. Great
She
apology.
came out with the statement. Yeah,
She should
that's
have said
good
that
for her.
in the.
I know. But you know what? Better late than never. I'm glad that she just didn't, put
Yeah.
anything or act like oblivious to like, oh, like I stand by what I said kind of thing. I'm glad she
Yeah.
did eventually speak out on it and say what was right. So,
Well, first of all, she couldn't have said, I stand by it because literally when everyone saw the video,
oh, they went
all of the
crazy.
WNBA players said something like, you're
Yeah.
kidding me. Like, it's like, when the
Yeah.
people, it's just, there's too much. It's just too much because it's like, when NECA becomes commissioner, it'll all be okay. I'm telling you, when NECA's gonna become commissioner and it's gonna be a good league.
Yeah.
It's, I just, there's too much negativity in this news. We have to move on. We have to move on. This is some positive. This is some cool stuff right here. If the Mystics make the 2024 playoffs, they would have the longest losing streak to start a season of any WNBA team ever to advance to postseason. But it would be the second longest losing streak to start a season of any playoff team in the WNBA, NBA, MLB, NHL, and NFL history to do so. I'm rooting for the Mystics. Go for it. I'm here for it. I did tell you guys past videos when they had like 5 wins.
Yeah.
I said they likely can do it with the healthy Mystics. I'm telling you. AU Pro Hoops will take place in Nashville starting in February 2025. Awesome. Arike Gumbawale becomes Dallas Wings franchise record holder with 3,972 points. She did it in 193 games, and I believe they compared her to Deanna Nolan. Did I say her name
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
She did it in like 293 games. So she did it 100 games less. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Caitlin Clark is the second rookie to be named Player of the Week 3 or more times. Elena Deladon had 4. Caitlin Clark also had the most assists in a season, 314 assists in 38 games. And she also has a new rookie record, 746 points and counting. Rickea Jackson passed Nika Gumuke for second in Sparks franchise history in points as a rookie. And she didn't even get that much playing time in the beginning of the season, so that's crazy. De'Arca Hamby set the Sparks single season rebound record, passing Lisa Leslie. Awesome. Love it. 2024 WNBA regular season concludes as the most viewed regular season ever across ESPN platforms.
That's awesome. Yes.
We're here.
Awesome.
Asia Wilson has the most points in a season, passing Jewel Lloyd. It only took her 35 games, and she became the first and only player to score 1,000 points in a single season. Let's just give her the MVP now. I swear, if it's not unanimous, there's a hater, and that person needs their vote revoked. If it's not unanimous. Like, are we serious right now? Las Vegas Aces are the fastest season ticket sellout in WNBA history for the 2025 season. And I did read the article on that. Mark Davis really tried not to raise the prices too much. I
saw that.
Which was awesome. I mean, they still rose, but not as much as some of the season tickets I've seen on the internet, like Chicago, New York, especially. I heard New York's were crazy. If you guys are season ticket holders, let us know how much your price rose. Because I'm hearing, like, the Aces fans, obviously they all renewed. Obviously they sold out. But a lot of these fans on social media are saying they can't even renew their tickets.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. So I'm curious. The Valkyrie, the first team in women's sports history to pass 17,000 season ticket deposits. Valkyrie, when are you calling? We're waiting. We are waiting. Valkyrie also gave a sneak peek of their state-of-the-art V-shaped locker room, which is set to debut in 2025 and will feature a training room, player lounge, a dining area, and coaches' offices. Designed to unite and empower our athletes. This is more than just a locker room. It's where history will be made. No, for real, it's cool. I love the locker room. It's just so nice. I'm just going through the pictures now. I like the wet area. That's like really nice. Do you see the wings, the detail in the back of that picture?
Yeah.
That's
everything
really
is
dope.
clean. Yeah.
That's super dope. I like it. But okay, guys. We're gonna go through the recap. There wasn't a lot of big upsets. So if you're new here, we go over big upsets or big wins, especially with the fight for this 8th seed right now. So Mystics actually, they defeated the Sky 89-58, and then they defeated the Dream 72-69. So before today's games, which is Sunday, we record on Sundays, they clinched the 8th seed from Chicago. Then they lost to Atlanta today. So there's a 3-way tie. Now I saw that if there's 2 more days of games. If all 3, so if Washington, Chicago, and Atlanta all tie, Washington has the go-ahead win.
Okay, yeah.
So they have the go-ahead win. And I'm here for Washington. I think Washington can do it. Chicago has too many injuries right now. Atlanta's performances, I feel, are like very up and down.
Yeah, they're not consistent at all.
No, I feel like one day they look super good, and then the next is kind of like, dude, what's going on? So I'm pulling up the rest of Washington's schedule, and they play, New York and Indiana. That's tough. Okay, that's not the best. Let's go to Chicago now. Meg, while I'm doing Chicago, you do Atlanta. Because now this stinks. That sucks. So they play Atlanta. So never mind. I covered one for you.
Yeah.
And then they play Connecticut.
Atlanta plays Sky, obviously, and Liberty. So they all at least have one pretty bad matchup.
Washington has the hardest schedule.
You know what, though? A lot of teams are sitting players.
That's true.
Could that work in their favor? Maybe they can pull out a win, even if they don't sit players. You never know.
I think Washington
They're on a hot streak.
Washington has the hardest route.
Yeah,
that's going to be tough. Indiana is on fire right now. New York's going to be coming off a loss to Minnesota. Yeah, that's going to be tough. I feel like it's going to fall into Atlanta's favor. What'd you say Atlanta's last game was? New York? Never mind, I lied.
I don't know. It's a toss-up still.
It is. I think Washington has the hardest way out, though.
Yeah.
Indiana, New York, that's not fun. That's not.
Indiana's hot.
And New York's number 1.
Yeah.
Ay, ay,
So,
ay. Well, big win for Minnesota today. They defeated Liberty 88-79.
mhm.
Brianna Stewart was on fire with 38 points, 18 rebounds, and they still lost. That's insane. Nafisa, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Bridget Carlton, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. They are still 2 games behind New York for that 1 seed. New York would have to lose their next 2 games. Um, one of them being Washington. And what was the other one you said? Washington, Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think New York's going to be the 1 seed. Minnesota is probably going to secure that 2 seed. And then Connecticut. Ooh, Connecticut. What do you think about Connecticut? Do the Aces overtake them? We're behind 2
Um,
games.
behind two
They play
games.
they play Minnesota, Chicago.
Mm,
They would have to lose both, so probably highly unlikely.
yeah.
Unless Chicago like really brings it.
And then the
I don't.
Aces play Storm in Dallas.
Yeah, no. This is probably what it's gonna look like, guys.
Yeah.
I think this
Pretty
is
set.
yeah. This is pretty set 1 through 7.
Yeah.
And then the 8.
Agreed.
Okay, 8. Predict it, Megan.
You know what? I mean, I rode with Atlanta, so I'm gonna just say Atlanta could still pull it out. I feel like they just haven't been playing up to what their potential has always been. This is yeah.
I
Been a
know.
little disappointing, but I think that they'll squeeze it out, but they're not gonna go far in playoffs.
No, I think you're kind of right about Atlanta, but I'm pulling for Washington. I know they have the harder schedule out. It's probably
Mhm.
unlikely, but I've been rooting for them for a minute, and I want them to win. So that's where my biases go. But I think you're right. I think Atlanta has the higher chance. It depends who wins that Chicago Atlanta game when they play.
Mhm.
Whoever wins that one is probably more likely to get the A seed, I would say.
Yeah.
Because that's the easiest game out of everyone's schedule. That's how I'd put it. Okay. What you guys are all here for, the end of season awards. We do the preseason,
Whew.
we do the mid-season, and we do the end of season. And let me tell
I
you,
always struggle.
Megan always struggles, but now she has the data in front of her. She has enough. She's seen enough tape. You should know your answers by now, Meg.
Yeah.
Okay? So let's start off with the easy one, Meg. Player of the year.
Asia.
Asia Wilson. It's unanimous. Is it unanimous or is it not unanimous? Final vote.
Unanimous.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid that 4th place voter last year is going to come and say 2nd place. Like, who are you putting first? I understand Nafisa Collier has had a great season. I've been number 1 Nafisa Collier fan here. Have I not, Meg?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't. You just can't give it to her.
Yeah. You
She's
can't.
had a great season. Collier has had a great season. It's an MVP type season, but just not on the level of Asia Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unfortunate. Okay, Rookie of the Year.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. And we were having this debate. I don't think it's going to be unanimous for the Rookie of the Year
Right.
because we have to still credit what Angel Reese has done with her season. So, when the votes come out, we were saying, how many votes do you think will go towards Angel Reese?
I think
Megan,
I
you
said
want to?
3.
Yeah, I think I said 3 to 5 votes will go towards Angel Reese.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna land in that 3 spot. The 3 votes will go to Angel Reese for that. But I don't know. I feel like if certain rookies got to play more this year, Cameron Brink didn't get injured, I feel like the race would be like really close. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I think it's gonna be Caitlin Clark. She takes it home. Okay, Defensive Player of the Year. Meg, you can start this one off
All
because
right.
I think I've been
So,
sane every single time.
okay. So, hear me out.
I'm
I
listening.
think that MVP is going to be unanimous. It's going to be Asia. And because of that, I think the media gets her back by making Collier Defensive Player of the Year.
Read me her stats.
She averages 2.1 steals, 9.7 defensive boards a night, and 1.2 blocks.
Is that your best
And
argument?
I think that those stats are good enough for the media to slide it her way because they're not going to want Asia to what, three-peat? This would be her third-peat.
Repeat.
And I think that's where they get her by making her MVP. They're going to have to take something away from her because that's how our media works.
Well, I'm going to stick by Asia Wilson three-peating. 12.1 rebounds per game, 2.7 blocks per game, 1.9 steals per game. That's more than Nafisa Collier.
Well, 9.7 was defensive boards. I didn't look up a stat for her all-around boards, but I'm sure
Come on
she's
now.
there. You got it for me? Go ahead, look it up.
No, I don't have it for you. You're going to need to look that up yourself because now your
Well,
argument is
all I
invalid.
know is that if anyone is right there with Asia that can compete for the spot,
is. I would agree with
between
you.
her and Nafisa. So
No,
we'll
I would
see what
agree with you.
happens.
Nafisa Collier, no, that's her all-around rebounds, 9.7. You had it right.
All 9.7 is all around?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just don't think you can give it to Nafisa when you see Asia's stats. I just don't. But because of politics, I can see your argument.
If they consider record
and defensive efficiency. They do have the better defensive efficiency. I will give you that.
So we'll see.
But it's not team defensive player. It's not defensive team of the year, Megan.
Yeah, no, I get it. But come on, look at all the other factors that went into play when Asia didn't get MVP. So if they're gonna give her MVP, you know the media always has to do something wonky.
Okay, you're right. Next. This one, sixth player of the year. This one could have went a lot of different ways for me, particularly, especially if this was a couple of games ago compared to now. Do you want to start off? Because I do like your answer.
I'm going with Beebich from New York.
I like it. I do like it.
I think that she's had an amazing year.
I agree.
I think she's done a lot for New York. And I think she should be in the running. And I also had a backup pick, which was Odyssey Sims. The only thing is I don't know that she qualifies because I know she started quite a few games in Dallas. So I wasn't sure. I was on the fence, but I must say that she was a great sign for them. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they don't ever just sign her to the regular team. I'll keep preaching that to the end of time. Mm-hmm. And then she's definitely had a couple rocky games with the Sparks to get adjusted, but now she's done good. Yeah. I mean, I know she hurt her hand, but she's had a great year. So, but yeah, I think Beebich has a chance to win it. She's done great. Let's hear yours.
Me out. Hear me out. I almost went Beebich. Okay, I almost did it, but then. The people need to hear this from me.
Oh, gosh. Who is it?
It's Tiffany Hayes.
Oh, goodness.
It's Tiffany Hayes. Let me tell you why. Because I hated on this woman.
I'm shocked.
All season. But I've already said, it's already been on the record. I've already given Tiffany Hayes her flowers. I took it back. I said she's helping Vegas. She's been looking good. I said she just needed to dust off the rust from retirement. She just needed to get back into playing groove, okay? Because she was retired for a second, okay?
Yeah.
9.2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 39.3% from the 3, and 50.3% from field goal. That's pretty good, Megan. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be Tiffany Hayes. I'm telling you, Beebich is going to be the X factor for the Liberty in the playoffs, and so will Tiffany Hayes. Tiffany Hayes, the sixth player, will always have a big impact for a team, and I'm just gonna add to the flowers I've already given Tiffany Hayes, and I'm gonna say here, this is my full on apology. I will never hate on you again. Sixth player of the year. Do we like it?
Oh, no? Yeah.
You don't think Tiffany Hayes deserves it?
No. I mean, yeah, she has good stats, obviously. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, most improved player of the year. Now, this is the most controversial one, I personally think. Because there is a thing going around, LA is trying to say De'Arica Hamby is the most improved player. Yes, her stats have improved, but I think it's hard because, like, she's won 6th player of the year twice. She's a champion. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For her to fall in that category, I think it's hard to put her in that category. I understand she's improved. Like, from when she was in the Aces to when she was in LA, she's had a magnificent season. I think she should be on an all WNBA team. Just so you know. I just don't think we could put her in the category of most improved player. That's just my opinion. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean,
It's hard because she has improved. Her numbers are crazy compared to when she was with Vegas. I just think,
it's different. It's kind of weird because it's like you shouldn't not take this into consideration, but the fact of her being when you're on another team where the play gets to revolve more around you and you're able to put up more numbers, it's like
yeah,
it's a little bit different than comparing it to someone that is in the same environment, like the same team, and then able
and
to
improve.
improve their game.
I like
So
that.
it's kind of depends on the perspective you have.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree that she's had an amazing year this year, right?
yeah.
But she would not. She probably wouldn't be my pick for most improved.
Yeah, I just feel like you can't put her there. But with
Yeah.
all that long-windedness said, it was between Kennedy Carter and Dejanay Carrington. It has been like that for every single award. I just
Oh,
fear
yeah.
what?
Go ahead. Yeah. Say your pick first.
I have I have to say Dejanay. I just feel like Dejanay's I can't even say this. Coming out of my mouth, you could say the same thing for Kennedy Carter. I was gonna say Dejanay's all-around impact has helped Connecticut. She rode the bench last year with Connecticut. She's now a starter. She's having a great season compared to when she was first playing with Connecticut. But then on the other hand, you have Kennedy Carter killing it for Chicago. They need her to win games. I don't know. Can you tell me why you picked Kennedy Carter?
So actually I know in my notes I picked Carter.
Okay.
But actually I changed my pick and I'm going Dejanay.
Okay.
Reason why. I actually did some research
Oh, snap.
after I put my, my just right off the
Okay.
dome. I was like, okay, Carter, right? From
Mm-hmm.
watching her, you're like, yeah, she deserves to be in the running.
Mm-hmm.
I did some research and I was looking at her stats. And yes, in so 2023, she didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
2022, she didn't have a great season in LA.
Mm-hmm.
But 2020, 2021, when she used to play for Atlanta, she played just how she's playing this year.
Okay.
Same, putting up the same amount of points,
Okay.
rebounds, assists, like balling like she's balling now.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me think like, okay, well, is it most improved when she came in the league playing at this level for
Mm-hmm.
2 years in a row?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know what happened in 2022, to be honest. I know that wasn't that right
I think,
after the bubble?
I think that's the year she got kicked off the team.
Okay, for LA. So, I think she had a lot of personal things that got
Mm-hmm.
involved and just a ton of different things that 22 was a wash, right?
Mm-hmm.
She barely played really.
Oh, that was
So
Atlanta. My bad. She got kicked off at Atlanta.
was it Atlanta? Okay. But
Yeah.
all that to say is like you have a player that came in the league playing at a high caliber level,
Mm-hmm.
and they had some things that caused them to obviously get kicked off a team, not get play time, ended up not playing the season, and then she's coming back and she then is just playing back at that same caliber that she came into the league.
Mm-hmm.
Made me question, well, is that most improved? When I have Dejanay, who has really upped her game since coming in the league. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is the best Dejanay has played
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
So I
I
mean,
agree.
in my opinion, looking at that made me sway now towards Dejanay.
I agree. And I do want to what's it called? What am I looking for? Not cover up. Atlanta suspended Carter, then traded her to LA, and then LA benched her and then waived her. So they
Yeah, so
kick her off.
that was just a rough 2 years
Yeah.
there for her.
But it's you could have the argument that she improved from that time. But
Yeah, but she also came from a year off.
exactly. Well, she
So
played
it's just
overseas, not year off. She
well
played
from the
overseas.
W. If we're
Yeah.
looking at WNBA, so
Yeah.
we're looking at a year off from
Yeah.
the WNBA. So,
Okay, so I think
but it's between them
Dejanay.
two, right? hands down between them, kind
But
of.
they're gonna slip De'Aaron in there as well, I think.
Okay, I won't be
Just
mad
saying.
at it.
Okay. Coach of the year. I'm gonna take the first swing. Cheryl Reeve. Okay, Minnesota Lynx. Because I remember them saying Minnesota was gonna be bad, and I was like, "You guys are insane." Their GM should win Executive of the Year. I don't know who he is. I don't follow Minnesota like that. I think he's win Executive of the Year because he brought in Alana Smith, brought in Courtney Williams, brought in Atisha Heidman. They've been killing it for Minnesota. They're projected the ninth seed, ninth in their little power rankings, and now they're still in the running to clinch the number 1 seed. How's that not Coach of the Year? They counted you out, Cheryl. What did they say? What's his name say? Geno Smith?
I don't know.
Oh my God, when he's like, they counted me out, but I didn't write back. But it's not that. Something like that. What? They wrote me off. No. Someone put it in the comments. I know what it is. Anywho, it's Cheryl Reeve.
Yeah, I think with what she's done is Cheryl Reeve,
Oh,
and
you agree? Okay.
yeah, no, I agree. I would say, the next closest coach to her would be Stephanie White because hands down, you know, I think no other team plays consistent every night good D like Connecticut Suns do. But yeah, I would say Cheryl Reeves definitely, they put a team together like you said, and she's been coaching them well. So
Agreed. Okay, last one. Champion. And
champ, champ, champ.
we always get to this point and everyone already knows my answer. So if we go with my always answer, because who doesn't pick their favorite team to win? So we'll just get the bias pick out the way. And I'm gonna say Vegas. And then I'm gonna give you my backup pick.
Yeah, my let me get my bias pick first.
Okay, fine, go.
Connecticut Suns.
But that one's not even gonna come true. So okay, let's give our realistic pick now. Then we got that out the way.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Wow, you beat me to it.
I just want to make sure you didn't think I copied you.
I will still stick with Minnesota. I've been rooting for Nafisa. I like what Minnesota's doing. Minnesota just beat New York. I don't know. For me, Minnesota all around is good. They're good on the defense and offensive end, and defense wins championships. I'm gonna get hate. Megan's gonna get hate. Mainly, I'm just gonna get hate, even though we both said the same answer. But anywho, I would go into the all WNBA and all that, but too political. And they switched it where you don't have to have 2 guards and 3 forwards or bigs anymore. It could be all forwards, all whatever. So we just like to stick to the main categories, but we are curious to see what you guys think. Let us know. I want to hear more opinions. I love to hear what you guys have to say. I know everyone's going to have a different champion. I feel like no one can predict who's going to win it all this year. But like I said, a lot of topics were discussed. Put in the comments your guys' opinions. I'll be responding to them. But thank you guys for tuning in. Next week, we'll be back with our playoff preview. It's playoff time, baby! I'm excited. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and we'll be back next week. Peace.
Peace.